In fact, during the debate, I got beautiful Hillary Clinton. I don't call her crooked because I only use that name for Biden now. She's a beautiful woman, beautiful Hillary Clinton. So she actually changed her position during the campaign, but she would have changed it back had that been a different result. But thank goodness it wasn't, because we made things and did things that nobody believed possible. Nobody believed possible. Have you ever heard of him? You've heard of him. You've been attacked for a long time. They were getting so strong, and you were getting so strong. Now the plants are going back to Mexico, and they're going back to China, coming back for more. I don't know that he's going to make it to the starting gate, but let's assume he does. If it's not him, it'll be somebody else with the same ideas, because that's the ideas they have. But we will stop him because, you know, standard history for years and decades and years and years and years, they always endorse a Democrat. There's no reason for it, but it's a habit. It's a bad habit. Much of it's gone to Mexico. We don't talk about Mexico. They make plants in Mexico. That's what he builds, auto plants. He said to me the other day, you got to see the plants we're building in Mexico. I said, well, how do they compare to the U.S.? He said, not even a contest. You remember what I did? I said, you don't give us protection at our border, I'm going to charge you a tariff of 25%. We want 28,000 soldiers on our border. Now we have the worst border in the history of the world, by the way. After NAFTA, the United States lost nearly 4 million manufacturing jobs and almost 1 in 3 auto jobs. I gave you that. Think of that. In fact, I had to check this number because it's inconceivable. You would think factories. 60,000 factories closed and went overseas. Can you imagine? 60,000? No, who would think that? When I first saw that number, I said, oh, somebody made a typographical error. Could have been 6,000, but that sounded too high. 60,000. And the good news is, if the number was wrong, the fake news will be checking it out. So I have to say, I have to give you the right numbers. Otherwise, the fake news is out there. Crooked Joe and his payday with the Biden family, they raked in millions and millions of dollars. You see what's going on. There are very little news reports. And they were the ones that paid the price. The only time Joe Biden has ever gotten his hands dirty is when he's taking cash from foreign countries, which is quite often, actually. Based on what we're seeing, it's much more often than anyone would have thought. But can you imagine an unannounced raid on his many homes? He would have made Senator Menendez look like a baby. Can you imagine? You know, they said we're going to raid your home over documents. They gave him 3 weeks. Oh, I can imagine. Joe Biden only cares about enriching his own family. I care about enriching your family. So I'm working for you, not for me. That is for sure. I will always have your back. I promise you that. I will always have your back. But you finally got a president who stood up to the... You got to understand, I stood up to people that hate you. They hate you. Or they maybe hate our country. I stood up for the auto workers and stood up for the great state of Michigan like nobody's ever stood up before. And then we did much better in 2020. I hate to tell you, we did much better. But we're going to do so.